Hi guys, today let's discuss the house robber question. This is one of the most classical question for the dynamic programming. So let's go into this question. You are a professional robber planning to rob houses along a street. Each house has a certain amount of money stashed. The only constraint stopping you from robbing each of them is that adjacent houses have security systems connected and it will automatically contact the police if two adjacent houses were broken into on the same night. Given an integer array nums representing the amount of money of each house, return the maximum amount of money you can rob tonight without alerting the police. Okay, it's clear that the nums has the amount of money that each house has. So you wanted to rob these houses in such a way that you cannot rob the adjacent houses. So if I am robbing the house 0, I can only rob house 2. Or the other possibility is if I am robbing the house 1, I can rob the house 3. Or there is other possibility as well. If you are robbing the house 0, I can rob the last house. So these are the three possibilities. Out of all the three possibilities, you have to rob the houses in such a way that the robber should have the maximum money with him. So in this case, we are robbing the house 0. So I am just treating it as 0 because I am just having 0 indexing. So house 0 and house 2. So house 0 and house 2. So that will result in the money of 4. And in the second example, they are robbing houses 1, 3 and 5. So this is houses 0, 2 and 4. So this one will result in 2 plus 9 plus 1. So which is 12. Okay, let's look at the constraint section as well. And the nums dot length is between 0 to 100. 1 to 100. So which means that house robber will actually have the houses so that he can rob. So the houses length is not empty. Okay, let's go into the explanation part of it. Hi guys, for the explanation I'm considering the example 2 that is mentioned in the question. The reason why I'm considering the example 2 is because the length of nums in the example 2 is 5. So that is the reason it will be, I'm using this one. So the first step that we have to do for this is to create a dynamic programming array. So the length of the dynamic programming array is going to be the length of nums. And I'm initializing the dynamic programming array with all zeros. And at each iteration, we are going to update the value of the dynamic programming array. So this how we are going to read this dynamic programming array is, what is the maximum amount of money that can be robbed from the house 0? Okay, so that will be signified here. And what is the maximum amount of money that can be robbed from 2 houses will be here. And this one is from 3 houses, it will be here, so on and so forth. So let's ask the same question again. What is the maximum amount of money that can be robbed from a single house? From the first house, it is going to be 2, because there is only one house and the maximum amount of money that can be robbed from that house is 2. Now let's ask the same question again. What is the maximum amount of money that can be robbed from 2 houses? From 2 and 7. So what is the maximum amount that can be robbed from 2 and 7? It is going to be the max of nums from the house 0 and house 1. So which means it is going to be 7 in this case. Now let's ask the same question again. What is the maximum amount of money that can be robbed from 3 houses? So if it is a little difficult to find out this, and it is much more simpler for the houses, one house and 2 houses. And for the third house, it is going to be the maximum of 2 houses. So 2 houses, we already computed it, dp of 1, and the other possibility is we are going to take the maximum till one house and the current house. I'm going to rob the current house and also the dp of 0, the first house and also the second house. This is house 0 and this is house 2. So it is going to be nums of 2. Okay. Now let's ask the same question again. So what is the maximum amount of money that can be robbed from 4 houses? So it is going to be the max of 3 houses, which is provided in the DP of 2, and it is going to be DP of 1, 2 houses plus the current house, nums of 3. So if we carefully observe this DP of 2 and DP of 3, we can clearly see the corresponding values. So if we wanted to find for any number of houses what is the maximum amount of money that can be robbed from any number of houses, we can use this formula. DP of I is equal to maximum of DP of I minus 1. So DP of I minus 1 is like ignoring the current house, what is the maximum amount of money that can be robbed, and I'm considering the current house. So I'm considering the current house, which is the current house is nums of I and DP of I minus 2. So the current house, the maximum amount of money that can be robbed till any number of houses we are going to use this formula. So this one can be used in an for loop to get the corresponding amount of money corresponding maximum amount of money that can be robbed from each house. I think it is pretty much clear, and this approach in the dynamic programming is called as bottom-up approach, because we are going to start from the 1 house, 2 house, and we are going to compute it for n number of houses. So I think it is clear from the explanation. Let's quickly code this up. Let's solve for the corner cases first. If the length of nums starts from 1, so if the length of nums equal to 1, then we are going to return nums of 0. So the maximum amount of money that can be robbed from one house is nums of 0. And now we are going to create a DP, dynamic programming array. So DP of 0, so I'm going to initialize with all zeros, and this is going to be, the length is going to be length of nums. And let's initialize for DP of 0. DP of 0 is equal to nums of 0. So the maximum amount of money that can be robbed from one house is nums of 0, and DP of 1 is the maximum amount of money that can be robbed from 2 houses is going to be the maximum of house 0, the maximum of house 0 and house 1. So it is going to be max of nums of 0 and nums of 1. And now let's write an iterative approach to solve for n houses. So for I in range of, so we are doing it from 2 houses. So we are doing it from 3 houses. So 3 houses to length of nums. So DP of I is equal to max of DP of I minus 1, comma DP of I minus 2 plus nums of I. So we calculated for all the n houses. So what are we going to return? We are going to return DP of minus 1. So we are going to return the last for the last house. So which means that we are combining all the houses, and we are going to return the maximum amount of money that can be robbed from the n houses. Okay, let's quickly, I think we are done. Let's quickly run the code. Yes, it is accepted. I think you must have liked this video. Please click like and subscribe to my channel. Yeah, thanks for watching.